To become exceptional at aligning and influencing your stakeholders, you need to start to map out the territory, to map your stakeholders relative to your goal. My approach to stakeholder mapping is very different from many others because it puts the relationship as one of the most critical considerations when you're assessing and analysing your stakeholders. So to begin with, what you need to do is to think clearly about a specific goal that you are heading towards and identify 8 to 10 powerful stakeholders. These are people who can have a material impact on your progress towards your goal, either for or against. Maybe they can stop it in its tracks or get you over the line. So think of 8 to 10 powerful stakeholders, and then you've got to position them somewhere on this map. And let me explain a little bit about how to do this. The first thing is you've got to write their name on it. So you can download below a template that you can print out and start to write on, but you've got to position them somewhere relative to where you believe your relationship is with them, to the degree it is strong or weak. So pushing them right the way to the right hand side would indicate that that individual, you've got a really good working relationship with them. There is a lot of trust there. You understand where each other is coming from, and you're willing to disclose your hand to really say, okay, this is what I'm really after, this is what I'm really worried about, etc. Because that indicates a very, very good, strong relationship. At the other end of the extreme, at the far left on the relationship, you're not quite sure where they stand. You're not quite sure whether you can believe what they're saying, and they're probably thinking that of you. And chances are it's somewhere, each stakeholder is somewhere between those two extremes. So try to guesstimate where each of your stakeholders might be on the horizontal dimension. And on the vertical dimension, we're talking about agreement based on the way you have articulated your influencing goal. So to what extent are they in favour or against what it is you're trying to achieve? And so the higher up they go on this dimension, the more on side they are, the more willing they are to potentially go out there and help you to achieve your goal. At the other extreme, the lower down they are, the more they're going to lose if you succeed, and the more they're going to work towards stopping you in your tracks and preventing you from getting your goal. And by considering the 8 to 10 stakeholders, what you're going to do is you're going to get them falling into one of these 4 boxes or between the two. And I'll come back to between the two in a moment. But looking at advocates, these are the people, quite often line managers and bosses are in, not always, but quite often they're in this box because they've hired you, they believe in you, your objective is part of their objective, and you're probably already agreeing on what it is that needs to happen in order to achieve the goal. So that's a really good position where you've got open dialogue, support, and can actually help to problem solve and work out what's going on and what to do for the best. Down in the bottom corner, we've got critics or critical friends. These are the people that may be almost like conscientious objectors to what it is you're trying to achieve. They've got a good relationship with you, you trust them and they trust you, and you're in almost like open disagreement. Maybe because of the timing of your goal or the way you specified it. With these people, you can potentially negotiate with them. Over on the other side, you've got the players. These are the people who seem to be saying yes, but for some reason their action doesn't back up their words of support. So there's something going wrong. So in a way, they're playing you. We don't know why that is, but there may be something wrong in the relationship where they don't quite trust you. They're not willing to disclose why they're actually opposing you, and they don't want to upset you or sort of risk having a difficult, hard exchange with you. So they'll just say, yeah, that's what we've got to do, but their actions never support it. And down in the bottom corner, we've got the enemies, which is, of course, only a hypothesis like all of these, but it's almost like these are the people that you don't get on with, and they're against you, and they're going to work hard to stop you. And they can be a particular problem for many, many people. But it's really important to remember that this is a territory where it's almost like a presumption or an assumption that they're an enemy, and it potentially calls for a little bit of more open dialogue, open engagement, so that you can build greater understanding. But with all of these, what we're really trying to do is to encourage you to say, okay, so if that is the playing field, if that is where all the stakeholders are, what strategy do you need to adopt in order to move enough power up into the advocates box to be able to achieve your objective? So who are you going to have to talk to? Who are you going to have to move? And what action are you going to take to start towards moving things so that they are in the right position to be able to help you to get your goal. And that's obviously what we're trying to do, but by coming back to this time and again on a regular review, maybe even getting your team involved as well for a specific goal, and many people will have several of these plans or these maps in progress as part of their overall work, but for each one, specific goal, specific set of stakeholders and specific set of positions, and therefore coming up with a very clear set of strategies and actions you can take in order to exert your influence, to move forward your influence and to hit your goal.